And this here is Clifford, or sometimes known as Project Clifford. This is our 2018 Jeep Wrangler JL. It's the 4-door version. It's the very first JL we ever bought. We got this thing early January of 2018. So we were one of the first aftermarket companies to get our hands on a dealer available JL. This Jeep has gone through many iterations since that time. It started out developing our coil spring kits, our 2.5, 3.5. Believe it or not, there's 4.5 and 6.5 as well. They haven't been released yet, but so it started out its first year at Easter Jeep that year. It was on a 2.5-inch kit. It has always had 37-inch tires, so even at 2.5 inches, it had 37s. It then progressed to a 3.5-inch lift by the end of that year. Currently, in its current state, it's got our J-Max coilover long arm system on it. Again, this has been our test mule for everything. It developed our first front coilover conversion, then our rear coilover conversion, and now we've got it's had the long arm on it as well. So in its current form, it is the J-Max long arm kit. So that's a 12-inch travel DSC adjustable coilover front and rear. This one has been upgraded with the Flex Connect. And then of course we have the long arm kit. So yet to be released, but very soon coming, long arm kit, putting the miles and the testing and abuse on it. To pair with that, we've worked with a number of companies to make this Jeep what it is and what it is capable of. And that's a Jeep that does not go on trailers. It has never been on a trailer. It doesn't get trailered. Whenever you see us at an event, we have driven there. Most of the time we've towed a trailer there. Okay, so this Jeep does not get trailered and we wheel it hard. We're rough on it. So to that end, we have Rcv Axle Shafts in the front. Can't say enough about the folks at Rcv. That is one area I just simply don't have concerns over. I drive the Jeep, I wheel the Jeep, it doesn't matter if it's rock, sand, mud, you know, nasty 1350 mud grapplers. Doesn't matter what I have on this, I do not worry about the front axle shafts. I don't worry about it. Barnes 4-wheel drive. Barnes came out with these Pritchett Canyon Series bumpers. The JL was the first vehicle they made these bumpers for. And I believe, and don't quote me on this, I think this is the first Jeep they ever went on. I absolutely love the Pritchett Canyon Series from Barnes 4-wheel drive. It's just a unique look, kind of desert, you know, we've got some dimple dies and a tube-like, and it's stubby, but kind of mid-width. I enjoy the Barnes bumper. We've got the front and rear, of course the rock sliders as well. You can't really have a bumper without a winch, and you can't really have a winch without a worm winch. You know, we've got the Xenon 10S on here. Again, it's one of those things, I don't worry about it. You know, if I get stuck or I'm out in the middle of nowhere, this is not gonna break on this Jeep, period, end of story. To go along with that, we like to practice some safe winching practices. You know, sometimes you never know what kind of group you're in. You get stuck and you gotta pull out the winches, and you know, you wanna think safety as well whenever we're dealing with that, and so Factor 55 helps us with that. Speaking of something I consider to be a safety item as much as an accessory, Baja Design's lighting. We don't have a ton of lighting on this Jeep, but we do use their accessory lighting. I don't worry about it. It's on there, it's night, I need light, boom, we're there, we're off-road lighting. For on-road lighting, we've worked with the team at High Beam Off-Road. This is their JL Drifter Series. Absolutely love that light. Projects a great light, great beam, you know, both high and low beam. And just a really nice upgrade. This Jeep, as you can tell, did not have the LED package, so we upgraded to the High Beam Off-Road LED lights. So under the hood, everything's relatively stock, 60,000 mile beat up old JL at this point. We did add, after my first JL experience, man, we tore up some factory air filters. I was knocking dust out of them, I was replacing them, blowing air through them, whatever I could. It was just sucking in dirty air. So SMB Filters got us on board with one of their air intakes. Since then, it has been breathing clean air ever since, and really I've seen a mileage improvement. And again, when I'm in these dusty, nasty conditions, I just simply don't have to worry about it. SMB has got us covered. Underneath the Jeep, some things you won't see, you know, just looking at it. You know, we run a pretty low ride height on 37s. It's a long Jeep, it's 4-door. That means we're gonna smash the belly a lot, and I mean a lot, especially when I've got this thing. Right now it's set up at about 4 inches, 3.5, 4. When I've got him down to 2 inches and we're out west and we're doing some of that, I'm dragging a lot of belly. We work with Armando and the team over there at Artec, and we found a package of skid plates that really work best for this Jeep and what we do with it. And you know, we were able to then both put their product to the test while we're putting our product to the test. It's probably the most abused set of skid plates I've ever seen on any vehicle we have. I use their skid plates as an off-road tool, just like I use my Barnes sliders as an off-road tool. I see obstacles that I know I'm gonna belly out on, or I know I'm gonna hit the rock slider on. I do that on purpose. I use it to pivot off of, whatever it might be. Another thing you'll never see, but you'll definitely hear, is the Mbrp exhaust on this Jeep. There's nothing worse than showing up, you know, at the end of a day trail riding and seeing the exhaust tip all smashed flat and terrible sounds and things like that. Mbrp has got an off-road rock crawling exhaust that is absolutely fantastic. It sounds great. There's not a single piece of it that hangs below the frame of the Jeep, not a tip, nothing. And even going down the highway, a lot of times, you know, I'm running this thing out 7th, even 6th gear, towing the trailer. It doesn't sound bad. It does not drone in the interior. It's a perfect accessory for this Jeep. Other areas that you can't quite see, JE Reel takes care of my front drive shaft issues. When you run a 12-inch travel coilover or some of our J Max and J Crawl systems, aftermarket drive shaft is required. I trusted the team at JE Reel. They've been making drive shafts forever, from everything from trophy trucks to our, little dual-purpose Jeep here. Again, that's a maintenance-free piece. You just put it in, you set it, you forget it. Very similar as my Dometic refrigerator. We end up days out on the road, trail, things like that. I need to be able to keep some snacks, some food, some obviously water. It's nice to have a cold drink. So the common theme for this Jeep is things that I don't have to worry about. We can take off and drive from Michigan to the Rubicon, wheel the heck out of it. I don't have to worry about it. We take that into our tire and wheel choice as well. Tires are a consumable item on the Jeep. Right now, there's a set of Nitto mud grapplers on it because we've had it in some different terrain that a mud grappler is required. A lot of times you're gonna see it on Nitto trail grapplers. You might see it on any number of brands of tires. Wheels are important, they're not consumable, and we don't want them to be consumable. We're running the KMC bead locks here. These are the machetes. These things are awesome. I simply mount the tire and I don't worry about them. I bash them, I'm mean to them off-road. The rings are tore up, They don't look as pretty as the day that KMC sent them to us, but they are absolutely fantastic. And again, another trail tool. So that's just a quick walk around Clifford here. This is, kind of our flagship JL at the moment. We use this thing a ton, we abuse it. Like I said, it only does work trips. I'm not commuting back and forth to work in this guy. I'm not doing anything like that. Just off-road work trips. There's over 62,000 miles on this Jeep right now. We have a ton of products we're still throwing at this thing every month. These are prototype pieces, things we want to try out. Other companies sending us stuff to try out because they know we're going to drive it, we're going to abuse it. We're ride testing this thing all the time. There's constant evolution in our suspension systems. We want the best ride and drive quality, the best off-road performance, and I'm still finding it every day. Just last weekend, it's the first time really getting into the rocks with a long arm kit, finding out, its advantages and disadvantages over the short arm, at the sand dunes, all these different places we take it. So that's why we have a vehicle like this. It's not meant to be pretty. We try to make it presentable. We want to show you, kind of highlight not only our products, but some of our partner products. It's never going to be a show Jeep. That's not what we're about. Nothing against a show Jeep. We need a piece that we can use and abuse, test, and just, actually be mean to. And this Jeep has provided us with that. Again, it's a Jeep, I don't worry about it. I get in, I put fuel in it, we change oil when we're supposed to, and I just beat the heck out of it off-road, and it's a whole lot of fun. So thank you for checking out Project Clifford. Maybe in the future we'll take a walk around some of our other vehicles and we'll show you the ins and outs of each one of those.